So I finally got to watch Black Widow in theaters, and let me tell you, it was a pretty fun time in the theaters. And today we're going to be dropping a non-spoiler review. My girl Natasha finally got her own movie, so stay tuned for the video. So Black Widow is officially a brand new film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if you're probably wondering where to watch it, you can watch it in theaters and you can watch it on Premier Access for $30 on Disney Plus, but you must be a member to watch it. I personally got to see it in a theater, and let me tell you, it was a fun film, it was an enjoyable film. Now, let me get this out of the way. I know this movie has a lot of pressure because it is the first MCU movie since Spider-Man Far From Home back in summer of 2019. It's been so long since we've gone to the theaters to watch an MCU movie. I know we've gone WandaVision, I know we've gone Loki, I know we've gone Falcon and Winter Soldier, but this is different. A cinematic experience is much better than just staying at home and watching a show, but if you're going to watch this at home, that's fine too. However, I recommend it to watch in theaters. But however, I do want to let you guys know that please do not put too much pressure on this film. This film is not a let's go first straight into the movie. Now, this is more of a movie that it's just another story to the MCU. I don't put it in my top 10. I don't put it in my top 20 probably. It depends. It is going to be in the lower half of the MCU. But let me get into review. Now, let me get two things out of the way. The two best parts of the film were Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova and David Harbour as Red Guardian. They were both hilarious. I love them. But Florence Pugh specifically. Now, I'm not the biggest Florence Pugh fan. I don't really know her much in other movies. But in this movie, she brought her A game. And let me tell you, she was the best part of the film. But David Harbour, he just brought this sensitivity, this comedy bit of him that I really absolutely love. And to me, those were the two best parts of the film. Overall, the best thing about the movie, besides these two actors, is specifically the family elements. Now, when I first saw the trailers, I thought the family elements were going to feel forced because, remember, Natasha's a character we don't know anything really about. And in Endgame, they specifically stated that her only family is the Avengers. So it is a little surprising seeing the family there, and I thought it was going to be forced, but they actually did it in a real rounded way. Scarlett Johansson, look, I'm going to be honest, Scarlett Johansson's amazing, she's great, she again in this film is amazing as Black Widow. I really like the character Black Widow, but I'd be lying if I said she was the best thing of this movie. I'm sorry, while yes, it is a Black Widow movie, and they make it feel that way for the most part, she still gets kind of sidelined for Florence Pugh. And I understand, this character, spoiler alert, died in Endgame, and so it is surprising to see her again. It is a little annoying that we're going back to prequels in the first ever MCU movie, but this movie does set up things in the future, so I guess that is a good thing. Now, I know people are going to ask, how is Rachel Weisz here in the movie? She really doesn't do much. I was surprised by how very little they used her in, but she was pretty decent. However, let me get into some bad things. Let me get to the bad and the worst. Now, the worst thing this film did is the villains were awful. Now, Taskmaster. I'm a big fan of Taskmaster in the comics. He's been one of my favorite villains, and in the trailers, they made him seem like this cool combat kind of warrior who has the abilities of other heroes, and that's what I believed we were going to see. However, I'm going to be honest, he really didn't do much. I'm going to be honest, I left the theater kind of being like, he wasn't a good villain. And he's not even the main villain. That's the annoying part. And there's few scenes of Taskmaster that I was like, heck yeah, man, this dude's awesome. This dude's cool. But nothing of his character besides that did anything to excite me. The reveal was not very good. The main, him being as an antagonist, he felt fearful at times. But then after a while, you stop feeling that fear. And overall, I think this is another villain in the bad MCU villains collections. Now, the MCU has a lot of good villains, but it also has a lot of bad villains. And I'm going to be honest, Taskmaster is in that list of poor developed villains. And another thing that really, really didn't like about this film is that it's a prequel. And I'm not a big fan of hey, let's go into prequels. There's a few occasional movies that I do like that are prequels. For example, I really love that Wonder Woman 2017 film, but I prefer to move forward, especially if we already know the future of this character. So in this movie, there are moments where it's like the directors are like, they're making scenes where they're trying to make you feel as if Black Widow's about to die, but you're there like, we've seen her die already. We know what her future is. So it does annoy me that this movie is coming out now rather than when it should have came, which was 2017. 2017 to me would have been a perfect time to put this film. But hey, that's all I have to say about the bad. There really isn't much bad besides that. And again, one little thing is, don't put too much pressure. This really isn't supposed to be the first film out of the gate. This isn't supposed to be the first movie in a brand new saga. I get putting this pressure on Shang-Chi, putting this pressure on the Eternals, putting this pressure on No Way Home. But for Black Widow, really, I wouldn't say that. Now, is it a top 10 MCU movie? Like I said before, it's not in the best. I don't think it's as good as Ragnarok, Civil War, Homecoming, Doctor Strange. I don't think it's as good as that, but I would put it in the lower half. But it's still a pretty good film. It's a fun film. Now, who do I recommend this movie to? I recommend this movie to people who are fans of the spy genre. Now, it doesn't do anything new. It feels like your typical... It just feels like an average spy movie. However, if you're a big fan of spy movies, you're probably going to like that. And I know a lot of people are saying this movie has a Winter Soldier feel. To me, Winter Soldier is the second best MCU movie just behind Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to be honest... It feels like it tries to be Winter Soldier, but it really doesn't end up being Winter Soldier. So that part was a little annoying. However, if you're a fan, if you want something at least similar to Winter Soldier, you're probably gonna like this film. And overall, the film's a great, enjoyable time. The best parts are the family elements. The worst part is Taskmaster and the villain plot and all that. And really, I recommend this movie to anyone who's a Marvel fan, anyone who's a fan of the MCU. Florence Pugh fans, you guys are going to like this movie. David Harbour fans, you guys are going to like this film. I recommend it to those people. Who do I not recommend this to? I recommend this to people who aren't fans of the MCU. Like, let's say you're a person who has seen most MCU movies, and most of them haven't done well for you. Now, for you, I would doubt that you would end up liking this one because this film does give you an MCU vibe. So I understand that. To other people who don't like it, I guess if you're not a fan of the spy genre, like let's say you don't like James Bond movies, then you're probably not going to end up liking this one because this one's on the average scale, at least to me personally. But however, I recommend it to most people. I think overall it's a great film. It's a fun film. It's an enjoyable one at least. And I had fun with it. Now, is this a memorable film? That's something I always ask myself in every movie I watch. Is this a memorable film? Not really. This is more of a popcorn flick where you go into the movie and you enjoy the movie, but after that you don't watch it again. Though there are certain movies that I do that with where I just don't end up watching again. Maybe I'll check it out again. Now, I still recommend to watch this movie in a theater because it looks stunning. Now, it doesn't have the greatest cinematography, obviously. This isn't like a Jet Li, Quentin Tarantino hero kind of movie. This is more of a basic, but still looks pretty good. And yes, premiere access, I get it. If you can't go out, let's say you're still worried about the pandemic, or maybe you don't have a theater open to you, or whatever. If you don't feel safe, whatever it is, then yeah, go ahead, stay home and watch the film at home. Regardless, it's still a pretty good, fun film. However, my recommendation is go to the theater, and it looks much more stunning. You have more fun. And overall enjoy it. Now, there is a post-credit scene. I'm pretty sure most of you guys probably already know that, but there is, in fact, a post-credit scene in the movie. So stay tuned after the credits to check it out. I'm not going to say what it is, obviously, because no spoilers in this movie review. However, just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. It's something related to the grander scheme of the MCU. So please stay tuned and keep watching the film when it is done. But overall, I enjoyed this film, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bells. That way you can be notified for future content here on the channel. Also, comment down below after the video. What did you think about the movie? Have you seen it? Have you not? Whatever it is, let us know in the comment sections down below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IsaacTheFilmGeek. And then if you enjoyed this movie review, share it with your other fellow film fans who want to know, is Black Widow good, bad, whatever it is. But again, let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Share this video, do everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy the MCU's brand new female-led superhero movie. I'll see you next time. Peace.